Welcome back, and remember the points that you and I need to take action on matters concerning environmental pollution. Considering that we live in Nairobi, right now we are in Nairobi, and I would like you to link that. Can we categorically say that we can link the level of pollution to the cancer that is happening right now?
Yes, to a large extent, yes. We don't have, let's say, we are at a level in our health project, we are actually at a level of trying to do analysis.
Okay.
We cannot say direct, but from our knowledge, we are aware that pollutants, by and large the heavy metals, have got that very direct, let's say, impact on, let's say, cancers and other related kind of non-communicable diseases. Of course, we are also aware that sewage also is another factor. We take in these things from different sources.
Yes.
Here we are focusing on the air related, but water related is even worse because a number of times you have industries and other stuff washing or rather throwing their waste into the general water. And then because we have not treated the water well, a number of times we take in this rubbish and they actually go into our bodies.
Yes.
A number of times we use this same water in irrigation.
Exactly.
And then these things are actually carried into our bodies. So by and large, we are talking about a bigger problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we are blaming the air, but it is compounded.
Yeah.
So one of the other conditions, of course, things like bronchitis, because you see continued maybe deposition and so on and so forth. Then the body feels insecure. So there's some kind of inflammation along the system as you move along. Some inflammation at various parts of the body. So bronchitis is normally one of the conditions. Then you also have asthma. Anybody who has got asthma, any family that has got asthma, they are told that's just an allergy. Some are actually family related, genetic in nature, but it is aggravated by exposure to some of these gases. So that, like me, I'm asthmatic. Basically, that's one of the conditions that affected me through in school, just coughing and flu, and that was my disease throughout. And to date, I still fear it. So any given time, I say, yes, I'm going to meet it somewhere, so I take precautions. So you're talking about these general conditions like coughing, sneezing, of course, being restless. When all this are with us.
You mean restlessness?
Restlessness. So when you are doing some work and you are restless, you are doing some work and you have flu, you are doing some work, you are coughing. What does that mean? I call them silly diseases collectively because you know they generally distract us from what you are doing. I call them a nuisance. Nuisance collectively, as because they are actually air pollution related and so on and so forth. There's what you call disability adjusted life years. Disability adjusted life years is a technical scientific term also used by WHO, but in simple terms for the common person, I would call it the number of days or years in our lives that we are dead yet alive. Even ordinarily looking at particulate matter from the non-direct disease point of view. The coughing, the sneezing, and the general kind of, let's say, discomfort associated with it. As you go to work, let's say, or you embark on some work, and then you have this condition continue to affect you, you are targeting, let's say, 100% achievement. That day you achieve 50%. So on that day you can say that you are 50% alive, but 50% dead. Now, cumulatively over the years, over every other day, cumulatively, you'll find that one day you have lost 10%, another day 20%, another day even up to 90%. When you put all this together, your productive life, there are parts of it that you're actually not being productive. So basically, that's how I describe this term called, this technical term called the daily. The condition affects you, let's say bronchitis imeingia, the lung cancer imeingia, the COPD imeingia. Now that would mean that somebody is not able to be themselves. You are uncomfortable most of the time. And you spend a lot of time out of work because you are actually taking offs. You are taking leave. You are paid to go to the hospital. In fact, you spend a lot of money going to the hospital. Those are actually direct impacts.
Yes.
So one of the things we do in GeoHealth is to look at, could there be any relationship between, let's say, the where one lives and the number of, let's say, respiratory and cardiovascular related conditions. That's something we are actually trying to analyze to some detail. But by and large, it is clear that the sicker we are, the more days of work we are actually
the less productive we are.
Because basically, in terms of impact of let's say, accidents and diseases on our health, on our health and work. Anything that can give you are given up to 3 days is called minor. So it can be a minor condition, minor ailment, or even minor injury.
Yes.
If you are looking at it from accident perspective. But then becomes major if now you must take more than 3 days. That is major. Then there is an element of disability. So all these actually affect our productivity at various levels.
Yes.
And those are actually basically what you call the impact of disease on our health.
Yes.
On what you call our health and work,
Yes.
socioeconomic and related.
Exactly.
So basically, therefore, we are saying that as more and more of this stuff gets dislodged in our systems, some of it, of course, will actually find itself going into the system, because I've talked about the respiratory.
Yes.
That's collective with the respiratory impact of the conditions. Now, when you talk about maybe a bit of data, I can give you a bit of data first in terms of that.
Yeah, please do.
We did, in the GeoHealth work, we have actually done what you call spirometry. Spirometry to mean, we have been looking at 1,100 kids scattered across 10 schools in which we put the e-samplers.
Okay.
That is low-cost samplers, so that
What
we are
is the
also
location of these schools?
the schools that we have the names here. I'll be able to share them in a short while.
Okay.
But they're scattered across the entire Nairobi, at almost every sub-county.
So
now,
it's within Nairobi County.
Within Nairobi County. Now, so we are able to check now these schools where we have the e-samplers, the air quality kind of measuring kind of samplers.
Yes.
Then we are also able to check now for the children, the ones who are able to volunteer, because you know the research is something that there must be consent. So the ones who consented and age between 9 and 12 years.
Yes.
So we are able to check what you call their lung function, what you call spirometry. What does lung function test mean? Basically, our lungs are like almost 6 liters, the capacity when it is full. Under normal circumstances, only around 10% of that is used. Normal breathing in and out, only around 600 milliliters of that volume is used, in and out and at normal. But when you actually first breathing in and that's inhaling, and breathing out with force.
Yes.
Up to 70-80% of that exchange can take place under force. So when you talk about vital capacity, that is the capacity of the lung under forced inspiration. Vital capacity. It's normally around 70-80%. That's around 4.5 liters. But then, once you have actually taken this with force, that is breathing it very fast, then you breathe it out very fast.
Yes.
This forced expiratory volume, the volume of this nearly 4.5 liters that you are actually forcefully breathing out within a second, it should be 75% minimum if the passage is okay. If there is any blockage, it will be less than 75%. So pulmonary function test therefore essentially just measures how much of the gas that we actually, the air that we take in, and what you call the vital capacity, do we forcefully remove using force, what you call forced expiratory volume within a second, within the first 1 second. So you can call it forced expiratory volume divided by vital capacity. It is this 75% minimum for a healthy lung, a healthy respiratory system. Anything less, maybe from 70 to 75, maybe yes, no, may not be sure. But clearly anything less than 70% is clearly something which requires some kind of medical attention.